And we're live. It is 8:30, right? So making sure that I keep my word. Thank you for those of you jumping back in, because I'm dropping all the nuggets today as usual, as per the usual. Libby did great. Thank you for staying tuned for the commercial that we just had. Many of you guys that were locking in before, my daughter made it to the Champion of Meats. So it's her first year playing track, and you guys all know my motto is always family first. And then we can talk about all things real estate, and I'm gonna say we can all just breathe, right? Breathe, because life be life, and life is super busy, but we can do all the things. We can do all the things, and sometimes go a little crazy doing them. But at the end of the day, I'm here because I want you guys to be educated, well informed, all things knowing of real estate, or at least have somebody you can ask, right? So welcome. Samara Keeps It Real Estate, another edition with your favorite local real estate broker, answering all the questions that come across my desk. We do have quite a few in the queue. I usually answer those right away, but also want to make sure that I can tell you guys what the questions that came across, because they're very informative and can keep you guys abreast of what's going on in the market. Sometimes you hear a question and you're like, I didn't think that people would know that information. So I love when I get questions. I actually live for it. My buyers love to ask questions and see if they can, get different takes on it all the time. I do seminars for first-time home buyers, so we talk about a lot of these things for the first time too, and I love every bit of it. So we're gonna jump right in, because there was quite a few things that came up that actually, when I jumped off, more came in, just saying, hey, tonight, can you cover this? Well, we probably can. Last week we talked about home inspections, but on a very small scale. This question was specific to, I have my home inspection report. What is okay to ask for? And I mean, that's a really good question, because it can shift from person to person, but the reality of it is that if you're a first-time home buyer, sometimes, you went above asking and you read the seller's disclosure and you did all the things, but somehow the inspection comes back and there is a litany of things that are a cause for concern. Now, when I say cause for concern, we're talking like major mechanicals, something that's going to cost you a lot of money, something that wasn't disclosed to you prior when you made your offer. And those are key pieces you need to really keep in mind, because at the end of the day, you want to be able to say that you put your offer in eyes wide open. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the seller's disclosure, by law in New Jersey, sellers are supposed to fill out a seller's disclosure, which is like a 14-page document of yes or no information about what they might know about the property. Not necessarily all yes or no, but the type of heating system it has, the age of the units if they know it, how old the house is. Now, where we come into the gray area is that sometimes people don't know this information on top of their head, or they don't recollect it, or they've never really done the maintenance on the house. So they don't know all the things. So they fill it out to the best of their ability. That's what the seller's disclosure is for. And fill it out to the best of your ability and tell the sellers the same thing. If you don't know the answers, just click unknown, because they're still going to have an inspection, right? They're still going to have to do their own due diligence anyway. Seller's disclosure is supposed to get you in front of it. Prior to last year, people were able to waive seller's disclosures, and you kind of still can in New Jersey as long as you fill out the flood section or the gray area. NAR rules. We can go down that path a whole nother day. But the reality of it is that the seller's disclosure is being filled out by the homeowner. And when a buyer is thinking about putting in an offer, their agent should be asking for a seller's disclosure if they have one. That way the buyer can review it, in addition to they have already seen the house, because they did like a layman's walkthrough, we call it, where you're not sure what to look for, but you walk into the house and you love it, right? So you get the seller's disclosure before you put your offer in to say, okay, well, they said this is from, it's the original furnace, but it's still operational. So it could be very much that it's the exact same, condition, and it works the way it's supposed to, and it's, well maintained over the years. Needless to say, best case scenario, before you're putting in your offer, you have the opportunity to review a seller's disclosure. Sometimes they don't have one available. Sometimes you pivot and you put your offer in, but make sure you don't forget to look at that. With that said, when you get that inspection report, because you've done all your part as a buyer, you get the inspection report, and there are just so many things on there. Some things you don't care about, some things you do care about, and they're asking the question, what should I ask for? What's okay to ask for? And what is just being unreasonable, right? Asking someone for a whole brand new roof when there's 15 years left on the roof's life expectancy. It's a little crazy, right? But ultimately, the short answer is you want to be able to look through the inspection report. And if the inspector's doing his part, he's walking you through the house, not trying to scare you or kill deals or anything like that, but to make sure that you're eyes wide open with what to expect with the house. Some things that people commonly ask for are things that could be a pain point for a first-time home buyer. Like if something is not operational, anything major mechanical, like if your water heater is not working, it's not functional, not working, right? So that's two different things. So if it's an old water heater but it still works, can you ask them for it? Sure, but as a homeowner, if you ask me for it, I'm going to say, well, it's still operational and you're not buying a brand new house. Take some notes because I got my sellers back too. So again, I walk the line and fully understand the needs and demands from both sides. So when you're working with somebody, you want to make sure they know both things, because that'll help you be in a position to have better conversation about things that you need as a first-time home buyer. All right. Are you going to ask them to paint the kitchen because the bicycle yellow is just not doing it for you? No, you're not. You're not going to ask for that. Please don't ask for that. And there'd be a couple other things that you're worried about. If there is a leak, an active leak somewhere, yes, we're asking for those kind of corrections. Anything that is cause for concern, you're definitely going to ask for. And at the end of the day, you're just going to review everything. You're going to breathe and think about the thought of cost of being a homeowner. Things are not going to be perfect. It's not a brand new house, unless you're buying new construction, different criteria for you guys there. But the gist of it is that you're not buying a brand new house. There will be some updates involved or needed as a homeowner. It's the cost of being a homeowner. So we walked through the list with you. The good thing about me is I have an ace in my pocket. I have a contractor, so things that are worrisome, we can get an idea of what that number looks like. So when we go back to them, we're either asking for a credit or asking for the repair, or know if it's even worth asking for, right? Something that's going to cost a couple $100s, is it worth, asking for something small when you have bigger fish to fry on that list, right? So you walk through all that. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit. But again, I will walk through it with you. We review it, make sure you're paired off with a really good agent that can help you navigate these waters, because sometimes they can tell you in advance from conversations or what they know or from the seller's disclosure review, what you're wasting your time on. And again, you could always ask and hear the word no, and what you should be really going after to protect yourself for your investment. On the flip side of that, a seller, you guys have the ability to say, no, not doing it, not doing anything. But in some cases, because nobody blows up a deal for $500, right? You want to get an idea of what it is they're asking for, what the actual concern is, what's within your bandwidth to actually want to repair and or fix or replace. And if you have no bandwidth, then it is as is. And hopefully the buyer either gets past it, or, you guys come to terms on a different point, and you kind of all move on. So inspections are fun. They're not designed to blow things up. They're not designed to scare you. And I want you to expect to see some things on an inspection report, because that's what they're designed for. Like, we're literally asking someone to come into the house and find all the things wrong with it. So that's their job. But it doesn't mean that we have to ask for all the things that are wrong with the house, right? Obviously, it's habitable in most cases. They've been living in it for years. This is how it's been. What's the most important thing for you? So hopefully that answers that question. One that popped up. Oh, hi, thanks for joining. One that popped up was a seller inquiry. They're saying, is the summer a good time to sell? And guys, honestly, you could sell all year round. Houses sell all year round, but summer is definitely a time to sell, especially this summer with our market. Our inventory is still low. We still have people that are out there shopping, and they're serious buyers right now, right? They want to try to get in before the school season starts, before, all the crazy hits, and kind of enjoy their summer a little bit in their new home. So if they're out looking right now, they are serious buyers. Can you believe how fast time flies? Guys, I love this stuff. But look, yeah, so that's a big thing in terms of summer's a great time. You got serious buyers. You got people who are trying to move fast, and inventory is still low. So for my sellers who are asking that question, yes, and yes. Summer's good. Give me a call. I got you. All right. Another seller one that was a big one. They said they read my book. Thank you for all the information. Guys, if you guys didn't read the book, DM me. I'll give you a free copy. It's a great read, easy read. They said, lots of things to do to get ready. What's the most important thing that buyers look for when buying a house. Like, what's the most important update you can make? So this is when we're talking renovations, right, guys? Breathe for a second. And I need you to not overthink it. Okay, seriously, don't overthink it. And that's coming from an overthinker herself. So, so try very hard not to overthink things that you need to do in your house to get it ready for the market. Okay, because the simple question is, a fresh coat of paint, really clean floors, really decluttered home goes a really, really long way. I'm not saying you have to go renovate or remodel your whole entire kitchen, because you're not always going to get your return on that depending on what you have vested in your house, right? But I want you guys to think that some of the simple things that you can do, I call it sweat equity updates, if you don't have bandwidth to do, you know, the big ticket items like brand new bathrooms, brand new kitchens, brand new things, right? If you don't have that bandwidth to do that, those really simple things. Like if you read the book, like there is like tons of things to do to get ready for the market, curb appeal, and that's sweat equity, right? You go outside, get the freshly mowed lawn, got that summer vibe, repaint the front door, have your house looking sharp, right? Have the declutter gone so a buyer can actually walk in there and really imagine their own stuff. So, oh my gosh, 15 minutes just flew by like it was nothing, guys. But don't worry, I still got you, because you guys held very patiently. Thank you for jumping on. Hi, Tracy. For my quick commercial break, you know, me cheering for my daughter's commercial break. But yeah, those are key factors when it comes to what buyers look for, right? So don't overthink it thinking you have to get a whole new house. You're not buying a new house, right? So just being really lean and really intentional about getting your house ready in a staged mindset, you're going to be in pretty good shape. All right. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys one more because I have a lot in here, and these are really good questions because I love this stuff. And you guys are catching me again. We're lifing, like we're doing live. We're on the road, just leaving a track meet. I'm a mom. You know, those things all take priority. We're juggling tons of things, but you know, at the end of the day, we do the things that we love. And my goal is to make sure you guys are educated and that you get this and that you know that you're not alone, because buying a house is one of your probably biggest investments, and it can be super overwhelming, whether it's your first house, your second house, whether you're just an investor. All these things kind of come into play, and you still have questions. Like, things are changing all the time. I just had someone say, well, when I buy houses, the seller always pays for it. We don't pay commission. Well, just last year, NAR passed a rule that requires all buyers' agents to have an agency agreement signed by any buyer they take out. So if there are buyers that are out there taking you out without an agency agreement, they're not in compliance with the NAR rules. So they'll all tell you, though, a lot of them are getting it signed because it protects their commission. Like, the rules have changed drastically. So being able to have an advocate out there, somebody who is a real estate professional who's not afraid to answer any question you give me, whether it's random, silly, smart, ridiculous, or just because you want the information, right? Or just nosy about real estate like me. I got you. All right, so let me jump to the last one. I think I can cover one more. 15 minutes flies. It's way too fast. But again, this is why I do it. Quick Q&A, Mondays at 7. Samara keeps it real estate. I'm here for you guys. I want to be able to drop this knowledge, all data, all information, no fluff, just whatever you guys need. I got you. All right, so I have an investor here, and they're saying, is now still a good time to invest? Well, guys, there's always a good market to invest, and it really does depend on what your strategy is, right? I am finding some success in, oh, thanks. I love your energy and information too. I love when you guys give me comments, so feel free to drop them in there. There really is a trend I'm seeing for a lot of my investors is there's a shift. I'm seeing more multi-generational homes being bought. I'm seeing age communities actually having some popularity, 55 and over specifically. And then I'm seeing, even mobile homes, guys. I'm seeing mobile homes also come in here with this investor play. So it really depends on what's going to work for you, what the numbers look like. I just had an investor that just was able to get a great deal on a multifamily as a 2-family. Needed a little bit of love, but he got it under market price, and he's now cash flowing 2 months later, 60 days later. Right? So there's tons and tons of things out there that you guys can be looking at in terms of your investment track, if that's the route you want to go. Pick my brain, ask me questions. You guys already know I'm currently an investor, as well as been in the real estate industry for 20 plus years, right? Anything that you can possibly think of, if I don't know the answer, you can guarantee that I'm going to figure it out. That's for sure. But investing's tons of fun. You definitely want to make sure the numbers make sense, but there's always a play for investing if you're smart about what your strategy is. So when you ask me the question, is now a good time to invest? I would say yes. As long as you can find the right deal, make sure the numbers make sense for you. There's always money to be had in real estate. And it's just tons of fun. And I know I went over, but I really appreciate you guys hanging in there with me, and a little bit of patience, and the high fives to my daughter, my little track star, that we went to go watch today. So I appreciate all of your energy, guys. Thank you very much for checking me out. Always have tons of questions, so guys, shoot them over. I still see more that are coming across, but I'm gonna log you and keep you, because I can't keep you guys forever. I would, though. I talk real estate all day long. So get those in. If you guys are checking me out, I do my truth bombs on Tuesday. Little quick myth busters about what's going on, 60 seconds or less. I got you. I try to give you guys some information during the week regarding what's going on with some of the foundations and committees that I'm on. We got the Real Estate Chamber, Rotary Club, homeless shelters. We do so many things. Yeah, go live. Thank you. So many different things that I do as part of a community advocate. And if you guys have information that you want to share, what you want me to share, I got you too. So share with me things that are going on in your world that, you know, people need to know about, people need to hear about. Leads me right into Fridays. For those of you who are checking me out on my local love, on Fridays, I'm interviewing local businesses, entrepreneurs, nonprofit organizations that people should really know about, and just spread the word, because I think local love is real love. And I think when people rally behind each other, that we can all grow. We can all be successful. We can all kind of root each other on, because life is hard enough out there, right? Like it's hard out there, right? We gotta remind ourselves to breathe, prioritize, and make sure that we are okay with self, right? This month is mental health month. So guys, you're never alone. Know that. That's for real. And, check me out. YouTube page has all past content, so you guys can check it out. Always dropping knowledge for you guys. My regular page, always ask questions, always ask whatever you need. We try to cover all the bases: your buyers, your sellers, your investors, our commercial people. I know you guys are out there, because we got more questions that are slowly coming in. I'm answering your one-offs. And anything community-based. You guys want to get involved? I got tons of places that need volunteer hands. So, plus I put my guys to work too. So volunteer work for my kids also. Thank you guys for locking in. Thank you for checking out another episode of Samara Keeps It Real Estate. I definitely went over because I appreciate you guys. Thank you for sharing your energy. Thank you for your time. And if someone can use this information, please share it. I'm here for you. And if you have any questions for me, you know where to find me. I'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.